Hey, it's me, Puppet DM, and I'm here to tell you all about the sponsors we have here at the Wandering Society. We're sponsored here by Mage Hand Press, makers of a bunch of 5th edition supplements, like the Book of Kobold or their series of new classes. And don't forget, Arcmada, the amazing sci-fi fantasy campaign setting for the world's greatest role-playing game. Be sure to check them out at store.mageandpress.com. Up next, we have Roll20. It's the platform we use here at the Wandering Society to play all of our games. It's easy to use, intuitive, and it now comes with dark mode. Be sure to check them out at roll20.net. We're also sponsored by R. Talsorian Games. R. Talsorian Games make great RPGs, and they've been doing so since the early 90s. Check their books. They've got Cyberpunk Red, which Simon tells me has been played here extensively, Castle Falkenstein, which also has been played here, and The Witcher, which has also been. Okay, we get it! Check them out at your FLGS or online at rtalsoriangames.com. Have you ever wanted to wake up and smell the coffee? Well, now you can with this next sponsor, Found Familiar. Get yourself some damn good coffee at foundfamiliar.com and use the code on the screen to get 15% off. What do you mean I can't drink coffee? What the fuck is felt? And we couldn't end this segment without talking about our good friends at Die Hard Dice. That's right. As a Dice affiliate, we are proud to partner with Die Hard Dice to bring you only the best in shiny click-clacks. Click-clacks? What is... Ow. You can check their ever-growing collection over at dieharddice.com and use the link below to get 15% off. You're putting this all on me? I better get a cut. Hey everyone, welcome! Tonight is a bit special because I, your lovely storyteller, has forgotten to write an intro and didn't have time to poop one out. So instead it's just me. I will now proceed to do slam poetry for the next 5 minutes. That is also not true. I am going to, however, introduce our cast. Or let them introduce themselves, as the realization dawns on me that my camera is still flipped from last week's unboxing, and it's uncanny. Speaking of someone who can look uncanny, I'd start with the person who's able to mold their face at will. Hey, Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World Build on all the socials, back with the Montreal by Night crew playing Arthur Porter, both of us use he, him pronouns. Uh Interesting to note that in order to do an intro, one must visit the facilities. Um but no, it's great to be here. There's meetings aplenty this evening. Conversations will be had. Um and I have a feeling that what conflict is on the horizon is going to just be below the boiling point by the end of tonight's session.
We have quite a few things already planned from last time. But first, the second member of our coterie, because I didn't find a good segue in time. God, do I need more coffee. Hello, Deirdre.
Hello, everyone. I am your friendly neighborhood Prax. I get to play Florica Flory Winters, your friendly neighborhood Ravnos, who is not to blame for anything that is currently going on wrong in Montreal at all. And both of us use she, her pronouns. And I am fully prepared because it is the witchy vampire season with some new nail art for the week.
Wait, I just saw black. What?
Yeah.
Black. Okay, I thought there
Nice
was something
shiny black.
like in the but in the reflection I thought you had something on some of
No,
your fingers.
I didn't do any. I didn't do any cool designs. I thought about it, but I did not.
They are cool. And last but not least, I don't have anything. Wow, tonight's gonna be hard. Hey, Trooper.
Hey, I am happy to be here. I am sad that I'm not going to get 5 minutes of slam poetry from Simon because I feel like not only should there be 5 minutes of slam poetry, but it should be in a very thick Quebecois accent in French. And I don't have bongos, but I could fake it. I just feel like this is a huge missed opportunity, and I'm very sad about it. But that's fine. I will survive somehow. I am Trooper SJP, and I am playing Dixon, who is the Osebo in the city, and who is, hanging out, doing stuff, getting his business in order, sending messages to people he needs to send message to so that the city can remain safe, like Batman. Although people have argued that the existence of Batman makes Gotham way less safe. Anyway, back to you.
Just so you all know, I posted it in chat, but for those of you watching at home, there is a Slam Poet NPC in chapters. I'm just not going to play him.
Is he the one I'm going to kill?
Huh?
He's the one I'm going to kill, yeah? Is he the one I'm going to kill? Nina Stalker?
No, the worst part is you've met him.
Oh.
Well, he hasn't shared any slam poetry. Game. I think more specifically, Trooper, you've met him. And just Trooper.
Yes, I believe that is true.
Interesting.
Well, as always, if you want to take a look at all of our NPCs, locations, and stuff, the link to the Legend Keeper is right there in chat. So,
Anarch, Slam Poet.
Did I say they were undead? I never said anything about them being undead.
Oh God, living Slam Poets.
So yeah. When we ended,
do you think mages? Do you think like a mage would be a slam poet using like their slam poetry to do magic stuff?
No, mages are all freestyle.
No one would believe them anyway, so it doesn't work.
The slam poetry is a fey bunk.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Or lupine.
I do not want to think about lupine slam poets.
Just because you don't want to think about them doesn't mean that there aren't their werebears hanging out there doing them slam poetry for you.
No. Werepoets do a different form of slam poetry. It's called performance art,
This is
and
true.
we leave that alone. We leave it alone.
Speaking of being alone, when we ended our last session, Dixon left Artie's place and his place in the coterie, went to the Anarchs, went to speak with Yuma. On the way was ambushed by Nathaniel Simmons, though someone seems to have also been stalking Dixon and intervening, delaying. Something happened. A shot was fired. Flory got a message from our good sheriff, Caleb, to meet with him. They had an interesting discussion about Nathaniel Simmons' place in Montreal and the reason why he was here. Because as much as he's an Archon, he's not quite part of the Archons that were invited, and that is where we're going to pick up tonight, is with Artie and his plans to meet with Kirsten Bellamy and oh shit, what's this, the other guy's
The
name?
Colonel.
The Colonel. Yeah, I know. I'm just.
And this is why Legend Keeper exists, folks.
Yes, Michael Unther. Remind me, Pope, did you give them a... I think you gave them a
No,
public
they
location. They gave you a
me.
location.
They gave me a location.
So I should have it here. Unless you have it in your notes.
It was more... I know it was in the opposite direction of my second meeting for the evening.
With San Diego, yeah.
Yeah, and they were both 15 minutes away from my place. That was precisely what was told.
Yep. Let me just open the map back up.
15 minutes away by car.
Yes, and they wanted to see you. If it's the opposite way.
Also given...
No, because the Myland one was Caleb.
Oh, either way, given the company and possibility of trouble we're getting into, I'm bringing the Crown Vic.
All right, let me just see if I have it somewhere else.
Need something with enough mass that if need be, I can hit someone and they'll stay down for a bit.
Okay. They will give you... At worst, we'll just rewrite it. They will give you a meeting spot in a... It's a street on the Plateau Mont Royal. Basically not too far from Little Italy. But, like we said, the opposite way to towards where you're going. It is by a park. It's a residential area for the most part. The street itself is called Heartland. Heartland. Sorry. I read Heartlard. I don't know why. Aside from just duplexes and the odd triplex, There is nothing. There's a lot of trees, a lot of shadows, not a whole lot of light. Most of the houses that you meet driving down towards that road, the closer you get, the less lighting there are inside. It's mostly people who have gone to bed by now.
Find a place to park, and I'm guessing I'm going to be heading to precisely where they told me.
You can see them down at the end of the street. Not in the park per se, but they are
Park adjacent.
like park adjacent by a house or two. You notice that they do not have a car of theirs nearby. You doubt that the like Accent and like Kia Sorrento nearby are, you know,
Yeah.
Archon cars.
Yeah.
Two of them are there, and you notice as you drive down, you're fairly certain that hiding, or maybe half hiding, behind a car is the old man, their ghoul.
Yeah. Well, again, their help is always going to be nearby.
Yeah. Just trying to get his name, just so we all remember. Edwards.
Yes.
Probably acting as some sort of scout or early warning system. Once your car drives past them, you see him in the rearview mirror sort of stand straight behind the car, look around, and begin to walk his way opposite the Archons.
Again, park the car, then just head on over.
Kristen is dressed tonight in a light leather jacket. Michael has the same like three-piece suit that he always wears, but she seems to present more as a living person. Clearly you can notice that she has the blush of life. She looks way more alive than her counterpart.
Evening.
Evening. What?
Thanks for meeting me so quickly. So, given the announcement, I figured that you might heed another warning. There's a crack in the tower.
Or so you've said.
I went digging through my memories.
Mm-hmm.
This goes back to 1920. Actually, it goes back further. It's just that's where I pick up in it.
From what I remember, you weren't in Montreal in 1920, Mr. Porter.
No, it wasn't. That's why this is pertinent. But somebody up the tower was in Miami in 1920. Somebody who was just now in Montreal. A Ventru's Ventru. Mehmet Vinci. He and Val, well, he would say friend, Val would say associate. This alliance dates back to before the Convention of Thorns. Mehmet wants what most Venture want: power, art, prestige. Val keeps her eye peeled for things that will aid him and stay out of his way for the most part. In exchange, he does the same for Val. Now, I know you two are the investigative sort, so you probably have at least a passing understanding of the occult. What my sire is after is called the Rite of Osaku, a path of hell, the reverse Golconda, which is most likely why she is here. If there was any writings about the rite, it would be in the former Grand Library of the Sabbat. Why Mamet's here, well, I'm guessing he's got either esoteric materials, like someone for a sacrifice, or information, or both. But either way, those two go back a ways, and I do not make this accusation lightly. In fact, Colonel, if you want to, use the site, by all means, I will.
The Colonel actually, takes a step towards you, sort of. He's not interposing himself directly between Kristen and you, but he is sort of, within arm's reach and can easily push her aside if need be. He goes, the Rite of Osaku is hogwash. We all know that. It's the same empty ritualistic beliefs that fuel most of the Sabbat in their deranged delusions that vampire kind is
Colonel,
somehow special.
with all due respect, there are many things the Sabbat has been wrong about. On the moral side of things, it was so bad that I found a conscience, okay?
And aren't we glad?
But when it comes to the occult, when it comes to the Methuselahs, they've been right. An organization like that does not survive without being right about a good number of things. And as for Golconda, why, us here in the West, yes, it's an impossibility. But to some of our Eastern cousins, Golconda is a reality. And if it's a reality, so is the Rite of Osaku.
And so are a great many beliefs in fire magic and sorcery that would allow transportation across the world in the blink of an eye. Yet, it is not possible. I am not discounting the fact that some deluded Sabbat pawn could be scratching at the ruins of, well, whatever it is Strathcona built here to find information on it.
Either way, you have a crack in the tower, and that scratching, I don't have to go to the deep and esoteric to tell you that should anyone be successful at finding anything down there, unless they are one of the sword, they're going to trip the security measures that did not get tripped when the mortals just bandied about and blew things up. There are passives down there. And some of those passives you do not want crawling out from the sewer, because there is no way to put that genie back in the bottle. The time is too modern. There are too many cameras, too many phones, and all it takes is 5 points of data, and the Masquerade goes up like so much paper in a pyre.
Kristen will reply. It's all fine and good, Mr. Porter, but what do you stand to gain in this? I doubt you are this loyal member of the Camarilla at this point.
Oh, I am not a loyal member of the Camarilla. Good gods.
Then why are you doing all this?
There are very many reasons. I will try not to bore you with all of them. The most selfish one that I can give you, which is the one that's probably the most palpable, is that this particular Ventru has a long history of fucking with those outside the Camarilla, those you care little about. And his fucking has crossed some of that moral lines that I have. I do not like violence towards those that do not have the capability to properly defend themselves. I do not like the slaughter of children, and I do not abide this man. And when I found him in my memories, the callousness he showed, the blaseness he showed with parlaying with my son is enough of a red flag. By all means, he made enough of a stir before I saw him that the Miami Sabbat was talking about a Camarilla incursion back in the day. And it was all because of one man, him. I know he's powerful. I know he's entrenched. I know he's older. And I know what that means if it's an alliance with Val. It means Montreal is in danger. This is my home. And I would like to remain here. And I'd rather the Masquerade not be breached because of my sire or this Ventru's meddling.
Michael lowers his head a bit just to cocks it to the side towards Kristen and says, he was right about the thing. She seems to think, ponder for a while. You can see her eyes basically dart, left, right, down. It would be best for everyone if Diana didn't have to come here. Michael is a little surprised by this, turns to Kristen, and basically, to paraphrase so I'm not talking to myself for a while, argues that they should report to Justicar Yadanza because this is what they should do, and that Justicar Yadanza will decide on what to do. Their job was to investigate. They already meddled a bit too much with the prince and the rider that he has. That's the word he uses, the rider. she replies that while he's right that they need to make a report, because of these new developments, there's always something that can be done, that they don't have to send it right away. And she turns to you and says, you have been oddly forthcoming and strangely honest with us up to this point. This is very unorthodox, Mr. Porter. No one wants to talk to the cops.
That's where you're wrong. I'm a mobster. I talk to cops. I talk to a lot of cops. Because that's how business gets done.
I see. Well, maybe some more business can be done. Or can be conducted at least. And Michael grumbles, turns around and leaves. Walks like a few ways away, begins to just pace rapidly. She smiles, remains calm, and says, how would you like to go digging for the cops?
Depends on where you want me to dig.
You said it yourself. If a member of the Ivory Tower was to stumble upon the defenses and alarms of the Sabbat, they would certainly trip them and destroy the Masquerade, ruin any chances you have of staying in this city. If myself or the Colonel were to try the same, now mind you, we are more talented than a lot of kindred here, but we are not Sabbat. And in front of me stands the most honest member or ex-member of the Sword of Cain I have come to know in my long existence. If you find what this Ventrus Ventru is looking for before he does, that could be enough proof that I could bring to Justicaria Danza to only have him removed. Potentially also all of his influences. But it would perhaps make it so that the Justicar wouldn't have to show up here. Because if she does, according to our extensive research, and she casts a glance towards where Michael is gone, a lot of this city will be turned to ash if a Justicar has to intervene.
I'll need a few things.
Well, you're not properly deputized, but I can always see if I can't pull some strings. What is it you need?
You're not gonna like it. I'm gonna need Vito. Lots of it. Lots of it.
I'll just remind you, Mr. Porter, that the creation of war ghouls and the like...
No, that's not how this works. You want me to pass locks. Locks that are only unlocked with the sacrifice of other kindred.
kindred who belongs with the sword?
No, just kindred. You're forgetting what the city was.
Hmm.
In order to bypass some of those locks, it's not just enough for one of us to bleed. They gotta die in order to open the fucking door. And some of the locks, if I find the right ones, which I suspect I will, it's going to be more than just their death. It's going to be their soul that gets sucked in order to get past that door. I'm not a fan of this plan, but if it keeps Montreal safe, I'm going to do it. But are you going to pay the price?
I cannot and will not grant you permission to touch anyone who is a member of the Ivory Tower. There has already been missing.
Yeah. About your compadre, Simmons.
Mr. Simmons is an Archon.
Nominally.
Are you suggesting that you want us to give you our blessings
No.
to make Simmons disappear? Because this is something that we cannot do.
No. I would never be so gauche. No, I am just implying that Simmons serves a different master, one that is of the tower but is not the tower. And that cross purposes makes this job really fucking difficult. I need that dog out of this city on top of the incredibly high price tag for keys.
We cannot.
I'm
We
hearing
have
a lot
no
of
influence.
no.
We have no influence over Mr. Simmons.
So, the gangrel that has made a lot of enemies over a long time is indebted to individuals that are not necessarily aligned with the tower's goals gets to run free in my city and can possibly kill me willy-nilly in his investigations while I'm trying to save this city, is what you're telling me.
Mr. Simmons may be a loose cannon, but his name hasn't been crossed out of our books. I cannot sanction.
Again, you want me to do a lot for hearing a whole lot of no.
There are plenty enough kindred here who are neither part of the tower nor are part of the Anarchs.
So you want me to get my hands real messy and do it all in my lonesome so you can just sit back? I think not. I've given you the information. Do with it as you will. If you want somebody to go down there and find things, you're going to have to find a way to pay the price. And I can already tell you, going to Valois, he's going to tell you the exact same fucking thing I did, except for the Simmons part.
I think you think you're in a position to bargain. But I can assure you, our meeting tonight is purely on account of you having been forthcoming so far. We do not have to meet. And I'm sure that you do not want the city to burn.
No, I don't. But I know the price that you're asking. And it's not just the blood. It's not just the deaths. It's me performing the ritual. I clawed my way out of hell. And if you want me to go back down there, to scour my soul, to save this city, you have to pay part of that price. I'm not taking it all on my own.
Give me 2 seconds. When you were talking about scouring your soul, going back down there, the streetlights flicker and die. About 4 of them around where you are. There's a cold gust of wind, like a breeze, more like, that seems to come out of the street that you parked Crown Vic on. The leaves in the trees don't seem to move. And you're not sure if Kirsten or the Colonel felt that breeze. But they saw the lights, though. Can you give me a roll?
Is this an occult roll?
No, it's actually going to be a... Let's go with... Charisma Persuasion.
Does my negotiation specialty apply?
We'll say yes.
Difficulty?
Oh. Give me a moment, I'll grab that for you. Difficulty 3.
I'll spend the willpower. There we go.
And
So
it's
that'll
1,
be
2, 3, 4,
4.
5 successes.
Oh, nice.
Because you got 2 10s. The Colonel walks back after the lights have gone out. And he turns to you. So a little annoyed. A little angry. You can see that he's like holding something back. He says, we cannot sanction. But you're not part of the tower, Mr. Porter. Whatever we say, whatever laws we have, until Justicaria Denza comes, they don't have to apply to you. But
Now
if
you're
you
seeing
fail,
why there's a need for an independent in this city.
perhaps, but they are lumped with the Sword of Cain when the Justicars come. So whatever you do, make sure you succeed.
I'm doing a lot for this city.
And I am sure that the city will be.
No, the city will not appreciate it. The city didn't appreciate it when I got somebody to clean up the first mess. The city hasn't appreciated all the charitable works that I've been doing. It's just been sopping up money. And every single time I try and do something to help the kindred around here, I'm painted with a broad brush, and I'm some sort of monster. And trust me, when I come back out of there, that is what I will be because of what you are asking. There is no way to open those doors without becoming something less than human and more than kindred.
Well, then perhaps hope that someone has already opened the doors for you.
They haven't. On purpose, because people are already sniffing around. You may want to do another thing to help protect the city if you're feeling, peevish. There's somebody wearing a coat of faces. Probably one of those that survive. On top of all the myriad whites down there, which are testing grounds for my sire, as well as snacks. And if anyone has already opened those doors, it's Val, and she knows how easily it is to put the locks back on. So you can, in your righteous service to the town, bring someone who is a direct threat to the city to justice in the meantime, also to keep watchful eyes off of you.
We are archons. We have no loyalty to a city over another. But that person with the coat of face would make for a proper legal target if you needed to hunt someone for their vitae.
Yeah, that soul ain't gonna be good enough to open the door. I need somebody a bit more pure. That's why we shovel-headed so many back in the day. Again, somebody who just was real nice. That's why there were so many disappearances amongst nurses, college students, community pillars. Just to make sure the doors open and closed.
Maybe you should have invested in a technology that would not have been such a disaster for the Masquerade wherever you went.
Yeah, left this about for good reason. But I also cannot say that their methodology is not great at keeping people out where you don't want them sniffing around.
Kristen will sort of butt in between you and the Colonel and go, Mr. Porter, that is all the time we have.
Well,
we will need an update. Oh, sorry, what?
I'll see what I can do. But even with my means, I may only scratch the surface. And in doing so, I'm going to come back bad.
The sooner you find this information, the sooner we can perhaps come to a resolution that isn't dangerous for Montreal.
Also, you should probably, before I actually get down there, find out what Paris wants with the city, because I'll probably stub my toe on it on the way down. We'll be in touch.
They don't respond, they just hold your stare and watch you leave. I know you wanted to go see Mr. Vagos, but I do believe we're going to cut in with our other scene that we had talked about last time. We needed to finish up a scene with Dixon after he left Yuma.
Heading back out to the leaving the stadium,
Olympic Stadium, yeah. Well, Biodome.
Olympic
That's
Stadium,
where you see.
the Biodome, and heading out of the of that territory, sort of like walking back, walking out and like deep in thought, hood back up, so that the sort of not human way that he is now is not going to be overseen by people on the streets. And he's still like walking out of this particular Anarch territory. He's like, heading towards the border, right, of the Anarch territory. Like he's also sort of distracted. His head is like his mind is in thought. He's still going over the conversation that he had with Yuma and thinking about the things that he wanted to say but didn't say, and like the kind of like the unspoken things that he had in his mind that he didn't really sort of get to say, right? Thinking about like I could have said this, or I could have like thinking about that, because he has the disadvantage suspect for the Anarchs and also the Camarilla, so he often doesn't say things in a way that will make them feel better. And like with those things on his mind, he's like walking back out towards the outside space. Out of their territory.
Mm-hmm. You would notice Simone is still hanging nearby.
Hey.
How was the boss?
Okay. I did my best, but I didn't say it all right, but I just wanted to give him a heads up.
Heads up for what?
Oh, I'm gonna start killing a bunch of Camarilla vampires.
I'm not complaining, but you didn't seem like the type of lick who had that on his mind when you came in a couple of hours ago.
Oh, no, it's been on my mind for a while. It's not one of those things you want to do, but a weed is growing in this city and someone has to pull it. And the longer you wait before you pull it, the deeper the roots get and the harder it will be to get rid of it.
Just out of morbid curiosity. Not that I particularly care, but who did you have in mind?
Oh, there's a long list of people to kill. And you have to build up some sort of support for that, because I need to make sure that whatever I do doesn't hit anybody else. So, but I'll be on there, destabilizing whatever this thing is. I wouldn't worry about it. It shouldn't hit any of you all at all.
It won't hit any of us if you get killed in the line of duty, if I can call it that.
That's Yuma's position as well, so that's all right. But I just thought I'd do due diligence.
Hey, sure. Due diligence away.
Ugh. In all the discussion, I forgot to tell him something.
I can always pass a message along.
Oh, he told me he had a vision of Damien Black, and he thought I should know about it, and I should let him know that Artie says that Damien Black is taken care of.
Damien Black. That's the... I think I've heard about him before. Isn't he one of those... like, old Sabbat... hermit or some such?
That's I don't know if he really was Sabat or what, but he was I suppose La Sombra. I think that's what they call them.
With a name like that, yeah.
I mean, I suppose he could also be like a very edgy Toreador, but anyway, apparently Yuma had a vision, so was concerned about him hanging a boat, but Artie says they took care of it, but they destroyed his essence or some such, and that he won't be a problem. So I just, I was supposed to tell, I wanted to tell Yuma that, but in the discussion of heroic destruction and the line between terrorism and freedom fighters and sacrifice symbols and all of that, I didn't get around to it.
Well, let him know he's gone.
Well, let him know that that's what Artie said. I don't personally know myself, but Artie does that sort of thing. So
So you've been told he's gone, is what I should tell the boss.
Yeah. Phrasing is important. But Artie does not seem to be worried at all, so I suppose it's true. And Artie worries if there are things to worry about. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let him know.
Yeah. It's good, though, because Damien Black was another one of my fans, apparently. Trying to kill me in some sort of a way. Not actually a fan.
I think I'm lost. That weren't you in some sort of like out of the way village or something?
Yeah.
As far as I remember, Black was here.
Yeah, these are things that have nothing, I mean, sins of the father, I suppose, things that are not really about me, but you can think of me as a pawn in other people's fights for a long time, and I didn't even know about it.
Oh, yeah, aren't we all?
Yeah, so he was apparently, I'm a pawn for him, or he tried to make me one, I suppose, but he's dead now, so, or I don't know, apparently he's dead now. But I just wanted to tell Yuma that. I think he's a little bit too mad to talk to me at the moment, so it's probably not a good idea if I tell him.
Yeah, no, I'll pass the message along. He, now you mentioned sins of the father. In your case, wasn't it sins of the mother? Because I recall Black hung out with a lot of women kindred.
I guess I don't really know what that group was, but I don't even know if they really exist anymore. I suppose not. I don't know. But I would imagine my mother's a saint. If there was any kind of sinning going about, I imagine it was Damien Black. I mean,
Was your mother here?
she wasn't based out of here, but she did travel through.
She was in Montreal about 4 years ago or before. Believe me, there has been a lot of sin.
No. She's not Sabat. She's independent.
Yeah. She survived. Did she?
Maybe?
Because
I
as
don't
far
know.
as I know, if you wanted to keep a head on your shoulders here a few years ago, you had to do some pretty nasty shit.
Yeah, but I don't know if she actually lived here. I think she was just traveling through to get information, sort of. She was a traveler. She made her way through, found out things she needed. I don't even know all the things she did really, but she wasn't she didn't stay places. I never got the sense that this was her home. I just got the sense that she was seen here sometime. Other places too, she was all over. Traveled up and down North and South America trying to find her.
And you landed here because?
Well, I suppose for a couple of reasons. One, there was rumor that she'd been here right before the Night of Ashes. Somebody's seen her. But also because, aside from my actual home, this was the only place that I'd stayed before for any length of time. Not long, but I snuck into the city in the 70s quite a bit. I laid low. I didn't talk to the rest of, I just
So
did
what
my own
kind
thing.
of sinning did you have to do?
None.
None.
I was studying. Yeah. If you don't hang out with kindred and play their games, you don't have to deal with their games. I just
You
laid
would
low and
need to
studied.
either have very powerful friends or be very, very lucky to not have caught the eyes of just about any of the licks that were here.
I suppose that's maybe why they called me lucky. That was a long time ago. But yeah, it was so I figured this was a place. Maybe I might find somebody who'd seen her, find out where she'd gone. And anyway, it's a place that was free. It's a place
I
where they
mean-
didn't have organizations.
No, there was pretty much a lot of organizations here.
No, I mean after. I
Oh.
came back after.
Oh,
I was here before in the 80s, but sort of here. I sort of hung out a little bit, but after the Night of Ashes, I came back because it was free. It was a place where we could all be without having to deal with any of that. We were just a community of people doing our own thing. something
and
special.
then they came.
Yeah. Giving
Yeah.
gifts that weren't theirs to give.
I'm not gonna get into that.
Yuma is doing something, and I understand what he's doing. It's a thing I did for a long time. I mean, he's way older than me. I'm not comparing to myself to him in that way. But I get what he's doing. I understand, at least I think I do. I did the same for, I don't know, 50, 60 years. But it's not my path anymore. But I think he'll keep you safe, so, and that's important.
That's all he wants. That's all he cares about.
I know, I understand that. but I have been freed, and so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Well, off you go then.
Yeah. It's tell him that I respect him if you speak to him, and tell him the thing about Artie saying that Damien Black's been taken care of. I don't know, banished or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave out the part about the respect. You can do that yourself.
I don't know if I'm going to be seeing him again anytime in the near future. So, and if I get killed, I at least want him to know that.
Yuma is a very complicated kindred.
Seems okay to me. I mean,
if you respect him, he'll probably know without you needing to tell him.
Well, that's good. I'm going to be laying low. I've got everybody trying to kill me right now. But, you know, I'll be around. Hey, do you know that the old payphone that's down by Shalaga, that's there's that old sort of burned out corner store that hasn't ever been like resold? Do you know that place?
Tells me something, yeah.
If you ever need to get a message to me, you can put a message in the coin return slot of that payphone, and I it's one of the places I check.
Okay.
If you need anything.
If we need anything, we'll make sure to send someone with a message.
Okay. And anyway, I might see you around in the neighborhood.
All right.
Yeah. But my sire wasn't Sabat.
If you say so.
Were you here before the Night of Ashes?
Some might say yes.
What does that mean?
Depends on what your definition of here is. I guess physically I was definitely not the same kindred I'm today. You know, you do what you need to survive. And then you do what must to bury that away.
I think I've been pretty lucky that I just didn't hang out with kindred back then.
Yeah, or you had someone watching over you.
I don't know why somebody would watch over me and not. I mean, the way I understand is that they just go kill people all the time. It's just like a torture. The way Artie talks about it, it's like a fountain of blood people bathe in all the time.
Yeah, but that's, mortal blood. They don't go and torture a kindred left and right necessarily. Many of them deserve it, but no, they don't tell anyone I said that, but in a way, they are more real than the Camarilla is.
What does that mean?
Well, look at us. Especially you. We're monsters.
Mm-hmm. No, it's not how I would phrase it, but...
You look like a boogeyman from a children's tale.
That's one way of looking at it, but I'm not a monster.
If memory serves, didn't you help snuff out a few lives left and right since you got here? And I seem to remember attacking someone with a parking meter.
That is true. My ancestor did that, but that is what happens sometimes.
Sure, you can blame it on whoever you want, but the fact of the matter is, you've done some pretty rough things. Not necessarily
that's a
monstrous
problem.
yet. Oh, it's not my problem, but I don't think it's your problem.
No. I don't think it's a problem. Sometimes these things happen.
Ah.
Humans do the same thing. People do things all the time. It doesn't make you a monster.
But in
Being
the
monstrous
eyes
is something different.
In the eyes of those you've terrorized on the street that night, you are the monster.
Well, then that makes us all monsters, or none of us are. Because look at how each kindred is terrorized by the thought of mortals with cell phones and the Second Inquisition. Which would make them monsters.
But we don't consider them. I would say boogeymen more than anything. But you are right. We are monsters, all of us. If you ask the Camarilla, they'll say we're not. We're some sort of sophisticated life form, evolved from humans. We're a step above on the pyramid. This is mostly bullshit.
No.
When you look at the Sabbat, they know what we are. I'm not saying I agree with their practices, but they don't pretend.
I don't think we're monsters. That feels very... I understand that that's what the kindred here tend to sort of think about themselves, but that's not where I come from. I don't think I'm some sort of evolved species. That's also strange. I am part of nature. What I am is something that has always been. It's just like there are all sorts of things that live. Not everyone understands it.
To a gazelle, the lion is a monster, lying in wait in the bushes.
But yet a lion isn't a monster.
Said from someone who doesn't have to fear the lion. That's the thing. At the end of the day, if you look at all the point of views, you're a monster to someone or something.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I wouldn't go so far as to revel in it. Huh?
But that might be a them problem. Simone, where are you from?
I'm getting to a point, though.
Go ahead.
That's a difference between the Sabbat and the Tower. In some aspect, us, but that's different. The one thing that both sides respect is strength. And if you had someone watching over you back then, because I don't think there might have been a part of luck in there, but maybe someone scared the shit out of whoever wanted to kill you. How often did you come? You said 70s and 80s?
Into the 70s, mostly through the 80s.
I think Crossman still has a few of the old travel logs of who came through. We kind of stopped doing it after a while because it got a lot of people into trouble, but yeah. Anyway, I was here in the 80s, wasn't here in the 70s.
I spent most of the 70s traveling. I got here, I think I started coming back like 79, a little bit. I was mostly here in the 80s, but not with the gang.
Sure. But if the gang had spotted you, you would have had to go through the initiation rites and do everything that the gang wanted you to do if you wanted to keep existing for another night.
And I never did.
No, thank your guardian angel, your providence, your whatever you want to call it. Your luck. But I was going somewhere with this. Yeah, I tend to ramble on.
No, it's okay. I don't talk to a lot of other kindred a lot.
There's not a whole lot of talkative people in the Anarchs either, so I tend to do all the talking for all of them.
Yeah, well, I just gonna try to do something.
Sure. And hey, if you're still here in a few nights after you started your murder spree, maybe we can crack open a young mortal and have some more conversations.
Maybe. Yeah. As long as it's safe. I've got to cover my tracks a little bit to make sure my actions are my own responsibilities of that. But you know, I'm gonna head out. I've got to pick up messages, drop them off, and get ready for hey, you probably, I don't know how old you are, but it's actually really big in the late 60s. I knew a lot of revolutionaries. The mini manual of the urban guerrilla was one of them. There's a lot of idealistic people, Montreal and El Salvador, a lot of places that talked about how to do warfare with unequal numbers and asymmetrical freedom fighting. Read a lot about it, walked through it, but I guess I didn't think I would have to be doing that myself. But still remember all those things.
Good luck fighting your war then.
Well, yeah. Anyway, when I take a break, we'll get a drink.
Sure.
And I'm sorry, whatever happened to you in Montreal. I know it was I have friends who told me it wasn't good back then.
Yeah, but there are ways to get over it.
Yeah. Antonio, he said it was bad.
Antonio got it bad. I don't know a lot about the man himself, but I know that well, if you're some sort of anomaly in your travel thing and whatever, he perhaps also had someone watching over him. Except that someone ended up blowing up the Sabbat, so maybe he deserved to get his arm ripped off.
I'm gonna go, but I thought that the city was blown up by the Second Inquisition.
That's what I said.
So he had somebody looking over him who was in the Second Inquisition?
He does like his religious symbols, doesn't he?
Thanks. I'm gonna go. I have a long walk. Takes a while. to get anywhere on foot. But take care of yourself, and I'll be around at some point, or I won't be. But I'm pretty resilient, so don't be surprised if I stick around longer than anybody else thinks I will. And he sort of puts out his hand.
To like,
Hand? Give me your hand. And she like he does like it's actually very like late 70s from when he was like around. He slips her some skin like this one, like
Mhm.
that. And then he pounds it. Because that's what the cool kids were doing in like 67.
good to know that I am now considered cool by the crowd of 40 some odd years ago.
Should take it. And he sort of like punches up and heads out because he's gotta drop off a note for Nina.
Yes. So while you're gonna go do that, and before we cut for break, Flory, you get another text message tonight.
Oh joy, who's this one from?
Actually, no, it's a call. It's gonna be a call because it's kind of a bit longer. I don't think you have that phone number. When you pick up, it's Melvin Crossman. No, I think you had Crossman's number. Didn't you?
I briefly did, yes. Hello. To what do I owe the pleasure?
Flory, you know if Lucky's around?
Dixon has decided to remove himself. He's going for leadership positions.
Oh, wow, good for him.
That's what I said.
He asked me a couple things way back a few months ago. I got some updates. It's just I kept trying to ping his phone and apparently it's not answering.
He has decided to remove himself from the telephone age.
Oh,
I can
he's
get
gone.
him a message if you want.
He's gone full cam. Okay.
No, I think he's gone full. Everyone is against me. I must be on my way and destroy everything in my path.
Oh, he's gone postal. Okay.
I don't like using that. I feel that the postal service gets a bad rap. But yeah, pretty much.
Well, let him know that I have stuff for him. It's about the thing. He'll know what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, got the question for you. You wouldn't happen to have any eyes on a annoying gangrel Archon?
Well, that narrows it down a lot. Yeah, there is. I've heard rumors.
You got a general location for me? I have some work to do.
Oh. Yeah, no, not tonight. I know he was here last month, but he's not the type of person that he stands out, is what I've been told. But people like me, we don't tend to go out looking for Archons.
Well, I'd be careful. He is present and apparently unaccounted for.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you know what he's here for.
Oh, he wants to kill a bunch of people, probably Dixon.
Oh, you use them as bait.
It feels mean.
But before you use Dixon as bait, tell him that I gotta talk to him. At least I'll have my end of the bargain done.
Well, of course. I'm not going to... Hasn't he done your... I mean, I'm not going to use him as bait until after he makes the good on the deal that he owes you. That seems...
Oh no, he did his part already.
Oh, okay, he did. Oh, well, in that case...
No, I owe him.
Alright. Well, I'll let him know.
All right, you do that. Have yourself a good night.
Oh, hey, did you get the update? Apparently, there's a few interesting people in town.
I have a whole list of people that came to town or were born in town recently.
Oh, they're having a baby boom. Isn't it great to be watching the Camarilla?
Yes. Everyone
Mehmet
gets the... Hmm?
Everyone gets to have a new child there, apparently.
Well, everyone who's someone. Not all of us have had the pleasure of being considered for that little party.
Oh, and you heard Val is officially on the red list, right?
Yeah, I have no idea she is.
Artie's sire.
Ah. Oh. Nice. It's a lot of notoriety there. Good for him.
Apparently. So, oh, and you know about the other two Archons, right?
Oh, yeah, we met. Lovely
They
couple.
Right? They gave off those vibes. Like, that's a little too much togetherness.
Oh, I mean, the three of them was already a bit too much for me, so I don't want to be part of that.
It was very awkward. I don't want to know about their relationship like that. All right, have fun. Don't get more dead.
And he hangs up.
She'll hang up and she'll just she'll just send a voice message to Artie. I have work.
He actually immediately calls back.
Yes.
We got real problems. Not my usual magic ones.
Is this a conversation to have in Pearson? Because somebody has asked
No,
me to
this
do
is
it.
real quick.
Mm.
If you're working, if they don't necessarily want them dead, I need them staked, and I need as many of them as you can bring me.
Well, one has to be very dead and very public. Is there any person in particular you don't want?
Don't necessarily want anything anarch, or anything that would be qualified as innocent and unoffensive.
So none of the little Camarilla baby boom then.
No. They can lose children. They can lose their firstborn. I feel like a curse of Egypt is upon them.
I haven't been biblical in decades, Artie. You're making me feel nostalgic.
Well, considering what I'm going to have to do to keep the city from burning to the fucking ground, it might as well be biblical. I have to go downstairs, open doors, find things, otherwise a Justicar is going to descend on Montreal.
Well. All right, then. So it will be seriously biblical. You wouldn't happen to have seen an annoying gangrel Archon, have you?
No, I'm just very certain that he is protected and insulated by the tower. There are plenty of people who have a hold of his leash that want to keep that dog around.
And just as many who are willing to pay my fees.
Well, is he the public one?
What do you think?
He's the public. Okay. Yeah, I could really use the potent. But I could use it probably on the lesser locks. If you could just give me like a pint, that'd be great.
Nobody said I couldn't take from him before I killed him.
Yeah, I just a punt. That'll help lubricate things. Also, I'm going to write you a check. I'm going to leave it at the house.
Why
If
are we
I'm-
going paper trail, Artie?
This is something that needs to be paper. If I'm not me when I get back out of there, you put me down.
If you put that on paper, and I'm not taking a check for that, Artie, if you put that on paper, it will be done.
If I'm not me, I'll get back out of there. Put me down.
Yes, but I'm not taking money for that one.
Suit
That's
yourself.
community service project, Artie. We don't need another crazy Samich in the city running around who's willing to bond with, oh wait, a friend of a friend.
If you can bring me him steak, that'd be great. You're perfectly fine with his soul being destroyed of it, right?
I don't really care how you do that, as long as I get to shoot them first.
Oh, by all means, shoot him all you want. But if you can bring him to me steak, that he is potent enough that I can get through 2 doors.
I'll add it to the list.
Thank you. Just
And then she'll hang up, and she'll send a voice message to Calcimeter's like, we're going shopping for a Samish. And sends that and goes and is going to go see if she can't find an annoying gangrel Archon.
All right. And on that, we're going to take a quick break. And we're going to be back with... I know that Artie had a little something before we go hunt an Archon. So stick around. We'll be right back. we're back with Mr. Porter. You left the two Archons behind. What is
Yep.
next?
What's next is a very quick drive over to our favorite serpent in town.
The red door in the back of a grocery store. Walk down. There's the empty basement with the, I believe, pinball machine.
Mm-hmm.
You know where the elevator is, though. You have been here before. Did you remind me, because I know you messaged the Archons, but had you messaged Santiago before you came by?
Yeah.
Okay, so then in that
Because
case, there will be someone waiting by the well, the fake pillar, right? It's that same strange, scaly skinned, kindred with the like greasy faux hawk.
Yeah, King.
And he looks at you and says, "The boss has been waiting."
I need to get some other business done. I have some, and because of it, I have more information for you.
I don't care. And he opens the door. He's not going to talk the whole ride down. Just not that very long, but it's just long enough to make it that tad awkward. The doors open to the club, or the empty club. You notice that Santiago is like behind a series of glass panes, and he's in a very not physical, I'm looking at agitated, I'd say, conversation with, let's call her a goth chick.
Yeah.
And eventually she storms out, walks past the two of you, and as King goes to, open the elevator and bring her up, she pushes him away. She goes, "Get out of my way."
Have I seen this one before?
Have you ever seen, out of game, have you ever seen Nina Barker?
I remember my, as we talked about.
It's Hannah's guest character, so...
Yeah. My staff mentioned that she was by the green the other night. I had not seen her, so no. Don't recognize. I know the name, but I don't have the face. So, push is king. That tells me a lot.
Santiago sort of, wow, I'm losing all my words. He straightens up his jacket, walks out of behind the glasses, claps his hand. "Mr. Porter."
Mr. Vados.
"To what do I owe the pleasure?"
Well, I got the message that I was in danger.
Ah, that. Give me a moment. For There's people fighting behind me. There's You've asked me for something.
Yes.
All right. Apologies.
My sire staked.
You asked me for more than that. Staking your sire is somewhere in there. I have news about your missing friend.
Oh boy.
She's gone, Mr. Porter. She,
You know who's
according to my
responsible.
sources, she met her final death underneath the island. Under the claws of a lupine. Or at the claws of a lupine, sorry. I recognize that face. I made it myself. Look, I
was
trust
certain that
my informants.
certain lupine and not gangrel.
I've been given the proximate location, and I've had some of my junior agents go and investigate a little. To say that they pissed their pants would be an understatement. Apparently, the gashes in the walls were, and he puts his arm up, about yay high.
Yeah, that's all fine. Fuck.
No one has seen it. They've dallied around the area that they've indicated. Took a few photos, a video, and no one wanted to proceed any further. I can't tell you exactly where it is, because I don't know how big its territory is, but well, this was found, and he fishes in his pocket and retrieves a piece of black cloth. It's dirty, but it could probably be that dress, like belong to the dress that she. But it's really like a tattered piece, like a torn piece. They found that. And they found apparently empty bullet casings. I don't know anymore.
That's surprisingly low on my list of problems. There's the possibility that it just occurred might fucking show up now.
It's just a what?
A just a car might show up.
I recall you having something to do with the
Archons, yes, but not just a car.
This is what happens when you go knocking at the cops' doors.
Yeah, they, for all their supposed power, they're really scared. They're terribly frightened, and are terrified of losing their position, losing face, and they don't want to do a goddamn thing. But they also know that if they go crying off to mommy's going to come here and set the entire place on fire. And it also means that they actually had to go crying to mommy, which means they don't get as many treats as they used to. So they desperately need me to go and get my hands dirty. But they're not going to do anything to help.
If I've crossed my T's and dotted my I's, I'd say you ask the help of roses. And theoretically, Montreal belongs to one of the most powerful roses in the world. That might be why they don't want to kick up a fuss.
In order to prevent the cops from crying to mom, I need to get downstairs. I need to get through the wards. I need to find what Lynette Benchy had been through once here in Montreal.
Interesting, and you need me to ferret that out? It's gonna cost you.
No, I don't necessarily need to ferret that out. But if you have any kindred that you have on ice that you wouldn't mind parting with, barbecue struck. You know the old keys. You've lived here.
I also know that a lot of holes were made with C4, so...
We both know the important things did not get blown away by C4.
I would say right now... I know the Archons... Nope. That would be too easy. I could tell you about some. There are some kindred that have kicked up a bit of a shitstorm here. You probably know of some, I probably know of others, but the first bit of help is free. The rest isn't.
Yeah, usually is. Yeah. I'm trying to be as good of a neighbor as I can be. That's why I like to go and go in there. I really don't want to.
Well, you see, neighbor, I'm in need of I needed flour. I wanted to bake a cake, and I don't have any flour. So as a good neighbor, I can come at your door and knock and say, "Hey, you give me some flour, I give you part of the cake I'm baking." If you catch my drift. I can have my boy paint your fence if that's what you want. I still need flour. Speaking of fences, isn't there a giant gaping hole in yours now?
And repairing it.
Word on the street has it that one of your coterie mate has gone missing.
You can update the word on the street. Dixon is his own man. He's decided as such. He has nothing to do with me anymore.
I see. Old enough to spread his wings, then.
Oh, it's just I fucked up that relationship, and instead of trying to mend it, he decided to part ways. As is his want, this is his right.
Well, if he needs anything, he knows where to find me, I think.
If he wants to talk to you, he'll find you. But he is very particular about the company he keeps. And he's definitely in mind to keep his own confidence.
Yeah, he does keep some very strange company, and he looks briefly at the elevator as he says that.
Domestic troubles?
There comes a time in the life of a parent where a child goes through their rebellious phase. Mine hasn't kicked her off since, I don't know, the past 10 years or so. It's bound to end at some point.
There's a reason I inside the child.
Sorry, there's a reason what? A child?
I haven't sired a child. I also remember how much of an idiot and prick I was. I don't need that.
I needed someone to help me paint my fence.
Yeah, family comes with more complicated ties than associates. There's a reason why they're contractors.
It does.
But as I'm going to go poking around downstairs, is there something that I should keep an eye out for you?
Oh, you're offering.
If I'm already going to be down there, I might as well go shopping.
You're probably going to be looking for, a lot of things that don't interest me. I'm more of a kind-facing kindred.
There's
So-
likely some old gold, fine art.
Oh yeah. A lot of it was stashed away somewhere in the temple.
Again, the rainy day fund. I'm familiar with it.
If while you're clearing out the Sabbat's garage, you happen to find anything like that? Old antiques and such? Yeah. I could think of a few things that I could do in return. I'd be grateful. That'd be the start.
Fair enough. Now that I know precisely what it is, then the kind of thing that you're looking for down there, I'll keep an eye. But thank you for finding it out. Lupine problem is going to be something that's down the line asset or issue. But if they went after Diane, that means she went smoking.
I don't think so. She was taken from her haven.
Yeah.
I'm thinking someone's I don't know. It feels like this was more of a feed them to the lion type of situation.
So you're saying somebody around here has contacts with the Fuzzies?
How long could a single lupine remain here under all of our collective noses and never once went on a rampage.
I've got 2 suspects.
Your list is shorter than mine.
Don't see the reason for either of them going after her.
I'm thinking someone might know more about what happened under the island than we might think.
3 of us. And he would be desperate enough.
I would love to compare notes at some point.
It's very easy. I think you can find him now if you were very, very smart.
I didn't catch the last...
You are very, very smart.
Oh. Yeah, but I'm thinking of starting a betting pool, you know?
There is a common thread when it comes to individuals going missing, people tied to the old days. And he has recently cozied up with the tower. I'm feeling Andrade has some answers for me. Now I understand why he has fled my graces.
You think the new blood has something to do with it?
We both know when it comes to the court of the moon, they know where the bodies are buried. They just don't always remember. And if you 3 are threatened by anyone, you will throw whoever it is to the roof. Whether that's Prince or literally Lupin.
Could. Anyway, if you go snooping down there, you might actually stumble upon the big bad wolf's lair, so hope you know what you're doing.
If the big bad wolf is anywhere near where I'm snooping, that's not a wolf. We've got far bigger problems. That was a wolf.
Well, if you need any help, not that it comes cheap, but
No one's offering up cheap help these days. Oh, by the by, as for my sire, I've been digging around in the old skull, which he's here for, in case I fuck up in my end. Somebody's going to need to stop her. She's... Yeah, everyone laughs at this, but I know better.
I'm laughing because you think I will be the one to do it.
She's after the right of Asaku. You are the one to do it.
Would the right of Asaku has anything to do with fucking up my business interests with the kind here?
It's not just the possibility of having control over a bloodline. It's the possibility of having control, period.
I do
She
so
gets
hate...
slowed. If she gets low enough, she's fucking with your business.
I guess we'll have to keep an eye out, won't we, King? King just makes this weird, awkward smile of the type of smile that only like a reptile would do. Imagine a DeSantis smile.
Okay. As much as I'm forthright, she is blue. And she only cares about her. And she will exert any and all influence that she can get her claws on. And she doesn't care about the Masquerade once she gets to that point. So if I don't stop, someone's going to have to. And you're the only one in the game, aside from maybe one other, that has the resources, smarts to even have a shot.
I'm glad you think that of me and my little enterprise.
It's not little, we both know.
Well, last time someone decided to think that the Masquerade was optional here, it made life difficult for a lot of us.
Yeah. The Masquerade is not optional. Not anymore. There's too many cameras, too many kind of phones. If the cat's out of the bag, it's global.
Well, I'll make sure to keep an eye out for either your success and your triumphant return, or from news of your final death somewhere in the bowels of the city.
Yeah. You have a good day. Also, should I actually fall, you're going to want to poke at Valois. As much as he's an arrogant bastard, he's one of the few people that might be able to give you a couple of goodies against her. Take care.
The name Valois seems to have wounded him. Like he really doesn't like hearing the name.
That just makes me smile on the way out.
King will not accompany you up top. He'll open the elevator for you. Have you drop in, and then
Well,
go up.
once you get out of the elevator, there are going to be two quick texts. First to Valois. I would like an audience with you tomorrow. There's a lot we need to discuss. And then a quick one off to our favorite Nos. You know where to find me. We're going to need to talk.
Favorite Nos, you meant Enzo, right?
No, I haven't met Enzo. I met Caleb.
Yeah, no, I know. No one likes Luciana anyway, so it's either Enzo or
I haven't
Caleb.
met her.
I know.
Dixon got along well enough with her. They have a pretty good relationship.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I'll drive back home.
All right. And as you drive, we're going to pan back to Flory. Now that your call with with Melvin is done, what's on tab for Flory?
I have to find an annoying Gangrel Archon.
Mm-hmm.
So she's probably going to use any and all of her resources available to find this Archon. So is that a streetwise roll?
Depends how you want to how you want to find him. Are you just sending out a general messages? People, keep your nose to the ground. Let me know if you see anything.
I don't think she'd message any of the girl. She wouldn't talk to Mei Ling about this. There's a level of like, she would drop a message to Mei Ling to keep me updated on like any other weird people showing up at the club, but she's not pulling a gang girl. A, she's not pulling a gang girl in general, and B, not a gang girl Archon who's a little trigger happy into kind politics in this moment. Right? Like, that's not a thing that she does.
Mm-hmm.
She may hit up, but she'll probably hit up a lot of her kindred resources, like, you know, Alexi.
Wasn't Alexi...
Alex.
Oh, yes, okay.
But she calls him a more dramatic name.
I know, but for half a second I was looking at the Legend Keeper trying to find, like, okay, wait, there's an Alexi somewhere and I don't remember.
No, this is her subtle attempt to remind him that names have power and he needs to work on getting one that isn't tied to his actual mortal identity.
Because I'd say if you're going through other people, right, to get a sense of where Simmons could be, Streetwise could be one. I'd see also Persuasion could be another one. If you're trying to look him up yourself, which might be a lot harder since, you know, you're by yourself trying to comb the entire island. If you're just going around trying to find traces, that would be awareness, but it might be a more difficult. I would say the upside of both is if you succeed on the awareness, though it is difficult, you would find him faster than through others, which will take longer, but will be, you know, difficulty is lower. I'll let you choose which one you want.
She's pragmatic and efficient. I think this is going to sound really awkward. I think she's going to... I don't know if you will allow this mechanically, but this is what she's doing dramatically, right? Like, she is actively looking by herself, but she's also going to hit up the phone tree and activate that while it's like, hey, I'm looking for this person. If you see them, let me know, while she's actively looking in places where she thinks he may have gone.
Oh, yeah. You can do both within the narrative, but as a player rolling the dice, which one of the two do you want?
I think she's going to start with the Persuasion.
All right. If you can give me... we'll go with Manipulation Persuasion. As you're probably just going to trade minor boons that we won't really keep track of, because they're just like hey, by the way, if you see this person or you hear about this person, let me know. It's not something that a lot of kindred would track actively, like, oh yeah, I once spotted a lost cat for you on the street and now you owe me something. Like, it's not enough for them.
I think it, you know, she's not doing that. She's just like, hey, you know.
All right. And that would be wait, where's my... there it is. Okay. And that would be a difficulty 4.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna re-roll 3 of those.
That makes sense.
And get
1,
that 4.
2, 3, 4 successes. All right. You will not find Simmons tonight.
That she didn't really expect to.
But also I can plug that in for our next session, basically you'll get a message later tomorrow night.
Okay.
Which might be earlier, but I doubt it. But it's definitely next session you're going to have info about it, because we're going to end the night of November 7th here. And I'm just going to make a quick note.
I think one of the things she's doing as she's doing this looking around and trying to put some effort into this, she'd stop at the dead drop that Dixon told them about to use and leave a short note, which is basically just... Your name hasn't been drawn on the list. Others have. Good luck. And I keep my promises. And then she'll just walk away. Won't even look back.
All right. And with that, we're going to end tonight, as I believe everyone now has a clear objective for next week.
Yeah, murder.
Couple meetings and getting things in motion.
And Dixon needs to start stocking up and
Also murder.
drawing a list of, yeah. He needs to
Oh,
write
no,
up
that's
a
going
list
to take
and
a...
check it twice.
That's long term. That's way long term. He currently has no place to live and has no money. Like, you can't just go around bombing people right now when you can't even afford shoes.
But
you know what I mean?
Have your bombs already.
He's got his guns, yeah, but
Yeah.
like, he can't even afford a sniper rifle at the moment. Like, you can't run around like being an assassin when he like.
So that's
he
going
has
to be
zero
first on your
resources.
list, is get some money.
He's got like he's gonna have to take a couple of weeks to like get a place to stay and things like that.
Look for a couple of handouts at the March of Crimes. Yeah.
Well, we'll get to see this next week, folks. So that is it for tonight. Thank you for coming. And players, I'm giving the mic to you as I will strip on camera. Let us know who you are, where we can find you, what you enjoyed about tonight, what you're looking forward to, and all that good stuff. We'll do same order as... Oh yeah, I'm not mirrored anymore. Same order as we did the intros. And we'll start with Pope.
Hey everybody, Pope here. Pope World Build on all the social medias. If you're looking for me, check Blue Sky for the most part. I'm more active on there, and definitely be back here next week for more Montreal by Night. I'm very intrigued by the conversations that were had this evening. Like, we haven't gotten to see a lot of the Anarchs, and so that conversation was kind of enlightening, and we didn't get a full peek behind the curtain. But it sounds like some of the locals here that were here during the bad times have some very distinctive memories that they're not quite willing to dig up. It's very interesting how Dixon's the one to just kind of get at that. Flory getting to be biblical is something I am looking forward to, as in her pursuit she may start picking at the firstborn. Because, well, let's face it, there are at least two of the local camis that come to mind that if their child or just happened to go missing, I don't think anyone would put up too much of a fuss. Also, if the sire went missing, maybe they wouldn't put up too much of a fuss either. So, hey, win-win. And how she goes about that, let alone a threat like Simmons, is going to be, you're going to be on the edge of your seat. And thank you so much, Simon, for, Lagos is such an interesting character. We've seen a lot of survivors. That is what this city's locals are. They all have their own degrees of trauma, their own coping mechanisms, and what they're willing to and not willing to do in the face of threats. And who's willing to step up to the plate? Not many. So
No, and Vargos has been thriving secretly, but thriving.
yeah, well, I can't. That's what the minister does. That's who they are. That's who they've always been. It's just, it seems in more modern nights, they are far more content than, say, in the 90s, to be overlooked and to let the rest of the kindred body politic play on without them. So it is an interesting change of pace, at least for me. As well as now there's at least a lupine threat, if not an abomination, which that brings back terrible old memories, because there is nothing quite as horrid as a lupine with kindred gifts. The fact that it's downstairs makes me very. So, if you want to catch the worry, as well as the slow moral degradation, please come back next week. And thank you all for being here. We're a live vlog YouTube. The story is nothing without its audience. You're much per this as we are. Take care of yourselves and one another, and I hope to see you soon.
An abomination would indeed be terrible. Thank you for coming, Pope Deirdre.
Hey everybody. You know me. I'm at Deirdre Donlan on Twitter, or Praxgorth Thesmiophorias. See me around here on Twitch, and Prax the Bard over on Instagram, Hive, and Blue Sky, I guess. I have been your friendly neighborhood Flori, your friendly neighborhood Ravnos, for whom nothing is my fault. Up until this point. But thank you all for being here. I loved the little moments of tonight. The hi, yeah, let's have this conversation as Dixon is leaving the stadium or the arena and meeting this other anarch who's trying to put a perspective on things and being like, you know what, it's not gonna work. It's fine. You do you, honey child. You're all fine. It'll be great until it's not. And that's the problem. I loved the entire conversation between Artie and the Archons, which is a great band name, by the way. I am here for Artie and the Archons. It is I'm feeling it's like a throwback 80s, like mid-century vibe kind of thing going on.
It's my
like
Flock
Huey
of Seagulls cover band.
It's like Huey. Well, I was thinking more like Huey in the News kind of thing.
I'm sorry, I'm dealing with roses. There has to be outrageous hair.
That's fair. That's entirely fair. Ooh, maybe Eddie and the Cruisers. There you go. If you don't know what that is, go look it up. And loved the rant. Thank you. Simon for the random conversation that Flory is having with just like, yeah, I'm getting a phone call from a Malkavian. Sure, let's have a conversation. Oh yeah, Dixon's gone postal. I mean, like, I didn't say that, but I don't disagree. I wonder what would happen if Melvin told Dixon that he went postal. Would Dixon agree? Probably not.
Good question.
Anyways, but as for me, we're on a short break right now for Carousel Court. We'll be back in a couple of weeks for the Arc 3, the end of this series that we're doing. Last night was the Arc 2 finale. There was drama, there was pathos, there was dancing, there was being defeated by a door. All the things you want in a tabletop game.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's on par for a lot of tabletop game, being defeated by a door.
Mm-hmm. There was indeed D&D to be in your Carousel Court. It was a lot of fun. And but we'll be back in a couple weeks for that. Otherwise, you can follow me on my channel. I'm doing playing some Baldur's Gate, doing some random chatting streams, doing some other things, and I will be announcing a thing in the next couple days. I just have to get some final details from some people. But yes, there will be a thing that will be announced for November, and I really hope you can come support us for that. Other than that, thank you everybody for being here, and thank you to my wonderful, fabulous co-players. I love doing this every week, and I can't wait to see what happens next.
Awesome, and thank you for coming. Lastly, Trooper.
Hey, I'm Trooper SJP. Hello, hello. I was playing Dixon for today, who, we shall remember, everything is Dixon's fault. Hashtag blame Dixon for all things. Anything that bad has happened in the city, it is his fault. Just remember that one. And he's out of control, mad, wild, violent, and needs to be put down like a dog. Let's see. I'm going to give
So
love
Dixon
there's
is
an
Byron.
actual dog under Montreal that needs to be put down. I'm just saying.
No, wait, but Dixon is Byron, right? Bad, mad, and dangerous to know.
Oh, Dixon has his own opinion about him, but I'm just saying the popular opinion about how he feels about
That's
himself
fair.
is different.
That's fair. That's fair. I agree with the unpopular opinion, right? Like, I agree with Dixon's view most of the time.
Oh, no, you're the one who's told him that you've been cleaning up all his messes since the beginning. You're like one of the main reasons why he thinks that people think that he's
I
it's
said
his fault.
me. I said me. I didn't say Flory.
Oh, yeah. You should agree with that bad opinion of him as well. I think everybody should. I think it's much easier that way. This way, when things get bad, he will be at fault and not the Coterie members. So we'll that's the better way to go. That'll keep Flory and Artie safe. So I want to give love to Flory being like the head woman in charge of this city. Like, she's got her contacts, she knows the people, she knows who to go to, she can wheel and deal. She is the expert negotiator, she knows what there is to know, she's got her handle on all, and I am looking forward to, like, it's just like a joy to see like a super old, very competent vampire who knows what they're doing to see them do their stuff. That's just like brilliant. And to see Artie try to negotiate with Archons his soul when those Archons do not care about him was heartbreaking. And he's willing to sacrifice everything that he's fought to gain, and they're all too willing to let him make those sacrifices, and I don't think they plan to give him anything for it. And there's that moment when they said, well, I mean, you care about this city, right? So go ahead. And I was just like, oh, that is so... Oh, Artie. Like, oh, no. So anyway, I just had these, like feelings of, like, oh, no, Artie. And to see him sort of spend time today talking to a bunch of people who are more than willing to let the former Sabat do a bunch of things that will burn him up from the inside for their own benefit made me just very sad. And I was like, Artie, can I give you like a cup of hot chocolate, maybe? I don't know if you'll have it, but yeah, anyway, so that was like really, really well done, Pope. And thank you to our GM, our storyteller, for giving us this place to play in. And it is Monday. You can find me on Friday at 7 p.m. at my channel, Trooper SJP, where I will be continuing on our season 3 of the Gamblers, our Traveler Pirates of Drynex campaign. And on Sunday at 8:30 p.m. over at Zeal Zaddy, I'll be on a Story Talks, which is like a talk show about gaming stuff if you want to hang out there. That's me, and I'm going to toss it back to our lovely storyteller.
Hello, that is me. Thank you, Trooper, for being here. Thank you, everyone. Thank you in chat. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for the subs. Thank you for all the fun times. We'll be back next Monday for some more Vampire. And we will be back this Saturday for Scion, as we are back from our little break of all the conventions and everything. And so Saturday, 1 p.m. Eastern, we're playing Scion over here. And then next Monday and the Monday after, so the 23rd and the 30th, we're going to be playing Vampire. And then we're going to take a break for November, as we will be playing here, playtesting a game I've been working on for the past 2 years. So we're going to have a streamed version of the game that I'm going to show all of you, which will be over the course of November, and then we'll come back in early December for the finale of Season 4 of Montreal by Night. For a lot of reasons, there won't be any Thursday streams for the rest of the month, but I will be back with stuff later. On that note, I think we can try... Who can we raid?
Fawn is up.
Yeah, I think we can go and raid Fawn, actually. It's Fawn and games. Yeah, why not? Oh, they're playing the game that I wanted to try. So, sure. Let's do that. Wait, is it Fun and Games? Fun and Games. Yes, all right. Raid launched. Have fun, everyone. Have a good night. And we will see you next week. Bye-bye.